The Northwestern Railway, for its length, is the most versatile railway in the world. And Sir Topham Hatt's locomotives are the strength behind the main lines, branch lines and ports that make up the island of Sodor. They are really useful engines.
Butch the Breakdown Truck is a credit to the Fat Controller's Railway. He drives around the island from dawn to dusk, helping those in need. Whether it's a crash, a smash, or just a simple breakdown, he's always happy to lend a hook. However, when doing other jobs, he can be rather temperamental. Recently, due to the negligence of a certain signalman, Borden had come off the rails and had an accident in Henry's Forest. While the signalman had been held accountable and the damage to Gorn was repairable, it had left part of the revered forest in shambles. Plowing through the forest at express speeds had weakened the ground and rendered many trees unstable, as well as felling trees, blocking sidings. Toby, Henry and Terence set to work at once, pulling fallen trees free of the line side and loading them onto flatbeds so that Henry could take them to the sawmill. It was imperative that the work was done, both carefully and quickly, to ensure no engines would be affected by the procedure. One day, Butch was dozing happily at the yards when the manager ran up, wiping his forehead. "Butch!" he yelled. "What?" Butch murmured sleepily. "Henry's been delayed with the kipper on the mainland, so you'll have to help out at the forest near Edward's station in his place." But what about my other duties?" Butch spluttered, suddenly wide awake. "I'll be running errands across the island. Surely with the appalling accident rate, I should be doing that instead." "George will be helping out for now." "Now, do as you are told." With a snarl and a roar, Butch fumed away. "Why am I here?" he moaned, loading yet another trunk onto a flatbed. "We already told you," grumbled Toby. "Henry's away." "Cheer up, Butch," smiled Terence. "Your strength will help us finish the job in no time." "My strength should be put to rescuing other vehicles, like I'm meant to do," Butch sulked. Terence and Toby decided best to ignore him. "All set! Timber!" Terence was right. Butch's strength meant it didn't take long to pull the trees clear and load them onto the flatbeds. "Come on," urged Butch to the workmen. "Load onto the flatbed, let's go into the next one." Poor Toby was feeling rushed off his wheels. "It's not a race," he grumbled to Butch. "Besides, I don't have any space left on these flatbeds. Maybe if you slow down, we'll be able to keep pace better." And he snorted slowly away. "He's right, Butch," said Terence. "You'd best slow down. Don't want any trees falling on you now, do we?" "Humph," retorted Butch. "I could get out of the way before a tree even came close to me, unlike you." Before Terence could reply, a foreman walked over. "Butch, an order of new equipment has arrived at the yards. Will you fetch it for us?" "Gladly, sir," replied Butch. He was relieved to get away from Terence and the trees for a while. It wasn't long before Butch had collected the equipment and was beginning to head back to the worksite. On the way, he came across George pulling a car from a ditch. "Well, one of us is doing real work today," the steamroller laughed. "Pah!" Butch burst out. "Whenever engines or vehicles need help, they'll always look for me, not for you, you piece of..." Just then, they saw Percy, Duck, and Thomas pulling a rake of express coaches, faces puffed and red with exhaustion. "I'm fit to burst! I'm fit to burst!" Duck spluttered. "I could help," called out Butch hopefully, but the 3 tank engines took no notice. He watched as they struggled on down the main line. "Looks like you're not so in demand now, eh?" Butch was furious. Toby had left his empty flatbeds in a siding and gone for a well-deserved drink at the water tower. The line was level, so the shunter hadn't bothered to fasten the wagon brakes. Butch came roaring out to the sidings and wasn't being careful at all. He was still thinking about George. Oh no! Terence was chugging along through the trees when he heard a rattling sound. "What's that?" he wondered. Ah! His caterpillars dug into the earth, but it was no use. He was trapped. Butch squealed up, horrified. He quickly swung chains around the tree and pulled with all his might. "Come on! Come on!" he strained. It was no good. Suddenly, they heard a wonderful sound. Toby came rushing down the sidings. "Don't worry, Terence, I'm here," he called. Pulling hard, the two were at last able to free Terence. "Phew!" puffed Terence. "Thanks, 𝐆𝐄. That feels much better." Terence had been badly damaged by the train and was soon loaded onto a truck to get examined. Butch felt awful. "Oh, I'm sorry, Terence," he said shamefully. "I shouldn't have been so careless. I guess I'm not as strong as I thought." Terence smiled. "You're strong, all right. Much stronger than this old tractor. Next time, be sure the trees go on the flatbeds, not on me." While Terence was away, Butch worked hard with Toby and Henry when he returned. He was careful as he went about, pulling trees clear and loading them onto the flatbeds. "Well done, Butch," smiled Toby. "We might even finish ahead of schedule." And they did too, just in time for Terence to come back. "I know I said you're strong," he smiled, "but you could have left some work for me to come back to." Butch could only laugh. He still prefers his rescue duties, but he never passes up a chance to work with his new friend, Terence.